So let's begin with the keynote. For the keynote, I would like to introduce you all our keynote speaker, Mr. Ankit Jain from PharmEasy. Can I call Mr. Ankit on the stage, please? Please, huge round of applause. Well, Mr. Ankit is a chartered accountant and company secretary by qualification. He has a good, rich, and diverse experience of 16 years. He has worked with organizations like E&Y, Lighthouse Learning, private equity firm, KKR Portfolio Company, etc. in this earlier stints. Ankit has been honored with various awards, including winner 2019 by Venture Engine, Sri Lanka Pioneering Entrepreneurship Program, CFO Next 100 2019 Roll-Up Honor by CFO Collective, CFO Champion by NetNext, Finance Transformation Leader of the Year by UBS Forum. So today Ankit will talk about redefining financial strategy through technological innovation. Please welcome Mr. Ankit Jain.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Just let me put it on record that after this introduction, I am also eager to meet myself. Right. So I think Happy has done a commendable job in curating the content and getting the right stakeholders into this meeting room. To start with the topic, I think, right. So first is, right, how can we revolutionize, right, financial strategy through technology innovation? And key aspect which comes to the mind is primarily artificial intelligence, right? So there's a long history to it, right? Generally, it has been the interest of various philosophers, artists, or I would say enthusiasts, right? That how a human mind works, right? What exactly goes in the mind and all. So the thesis or the mathematics behind artificial intelligence is the same foundation, right? When we say artificial intelligence, what does it exactly mean, right? So it says that a computer or a robotics-enabled computer, right? How can they consume information and produce output, which probably a human mind will do, right? How will they probably consume this data? What is the insights they will give into it? How will they think through it, right? So that is the theme, and let me just take through the slides here, right? So AI in finance is probably not a trend, but a transformation. And if you look at any sector, be it telecom sector, right? The eKYC which we have done, wherein Jio was able to garner lot of customer base in a small period of time, which has took like other players a decade or so, right? If you look at financing sector or NBFC sector or BFSI sector, right? The way people are able to join this mainstream through opening their bank accounts, through Aadhaar-linked OTPs and all is remarkable. So if you look at specific this number, right? These numbers are mind-boggling, right? Say 26 billion in 2023 will translate into a 240 plus billion in say 7-8 years. So if you look at growth trajectory, it is almost 10 times the current number. And this looks very, very much feasible looking at the current context of FIM. Second slide, I would like to say, when it comes to adoption of AI, right, there's a study done by PwC which says that Indians are not far behind what the other global thinkers or global leaders are thinking. And Indians are also catching up the way this new age quick commerce, new age tech businesses are coming into India. So if you look at the numbers, we are catching up, and probably we will surpass the global trends here. So AI is just not about automating, but I think it has also been a phenomena wherein how can business transform itself. So all your objectives can be fulfilled through tech only. So just to give you a background, right? PharmEasy is also on a healthcare mission to ensure that everyone in India, rich, poor, staying in rural, urban, gets consultation, treatment, diagnostic, everything within 24 hours. And this can only be possible if we adopt technology. And I think we have always been forefront when to adopt technology at such a large scale, right? I think I would like to add some gimmicks to this particular keynote. So I have created a video which will probably help you understand, right, how finance has, or how the expectation from finance has moved over a period of time. I think this is an interesting video for everyone to look at.
But Holland comes in for a pit stop. Time to refuel and change tires. Lou Moore himself changes the tires. Only 4 crew members, including the driver, are allowed to work on the car. It's a tense time. Holland stays in his seat, anxious to get away. Let's watch. The tires are changed at last. A crewman polishes the windshield as Holland moves away just 67 seconds after he stopped.
So I think this is exactly the scenario where finance has transformed, right? Earlier people or the finance team were waiting for year end to close, month end to close, then do analysis, perform, and give insights to the management. But now things have changed. Every action needs analysis on the fly, right? Even before the event occurs, there are dashboards ready which will give you insights into the operations of the company. So if you look at how the finance has transformed, so right now we are in, say, version 4.0 of finance, right? So if you look at V1, it was more of a manual face-to-face interaction. Second, we moved to digital transformation. And then third comes the data analytics part. But now we have moved to version 4.0, which is like including big data analytics, consuming a lot of data, giving insights to relevant stakeholders. Next slide talk about how can probably finance function be a future-proof finance function. So if you look at all the 4 value metrics, right? So earlier it was descriptive analytics, wherein we want to know what has happened, right? What numbers has come after the closure of, say, month end, all those things. Second, we came to diagnostic analysis, wherein we touched upon what happened is fine, but why did it happen, right? Third is predictive, where it says that what will happen or what is the expectation or what is the forecast for next period. And the fourth scenario, I think, which everyone is looking at and which is transforming the finance, right? How can we make it happen what we want to intend to do, right? So this is how probably finance has transformed over a period of time from what happened and now how can we make it happen. So this is the journey, and then probably to achieve all these aspects from a finance professional, I think without adopting technology, it would be, I think, next to impossible to achieve all this task. I have laid down few of the core principles or core technologies which can be used in shaping the finance, right? Which is, and few of them we are actually using in PharmEasy. So if you look at artificial intelligence, the way procurement happens in PharmEasy, right? We have stopped raising manual POs at all. Everything is system generated, what SKU to be ordered, which pin code to be ordered. So we track demand at SKU level, at pin code level, and everything is system generated, no manual intervention at all. Second is blockchain, which is very relevant in case of, say, BFSI sector, right? Because it's a very secured network wherein you can do transactions at a great speed with with zero tolerance on security parameters. Third is cloud computing when it comes to doing or getting the results at a lower cost, right? The cloud is the next option because then it becomes flexible. You can reach your data at the go. Fourth is IoT, Internet of Things, which is primarily including hardware plus software into the technology platform and taking real-time action. Fifth one is open source or software as a service, we call it, right? Wherein you don't incur much money or you don't incur capex, which is very asset-light model. Fourth one is, or the sixth one is my favorite, wherein it is a no-code or low-code system wherein finance can create their own dashboards without probably relying on tech partners. So the way these new age technology are so user-intuitive, wherein user can create their own metrics on the fly without, say, probably depending on tech team to develop the same. And the last one is hyper-automation, wherein it is a mix of deep learning and all those things specifically, right? Now, from what is expected from finance, or how can we achieve this particular thing, right? So one is how can we sensitize the board or educate the board about the requirements specifically? Because if you want to move ahead and reach the goal, probably then you have to ensure that all your stakeholders are aligned with your goals. Second point is how can, and post confirmation or post getting alignment from, say, senior leadership team, board of directors and all, try to allocate more and more strategic fund. And then the last point is accelerate partnership, like players like Happy, who has done fantastic job when it comes to technology specifically. This slide I've tried to conclude or cover points specifically from the PharmEasy point of view, right? So there were certain problem statements which, because we did, I think, almost 20 odd acquisitions in the history of, say, 8 years, right? And it was very challenging to integrate them, making them, bringing them, everything onto a single platform. So I have highlighted few things like we were into B2C, then we entered B2B, various state taxes, discounts, and all those things. And then by adopting technology, now we have reached a solution where all the intercompany reconciliation, payment gateway reconciliations are being done at a single click, right? Which is an interesting part. And everything is happening with almost 99% odd accuracy rate, which is I think really commendable looking at the scale of the business which we are. Just to bring numbers to the matter is that we are almost a 6,000 crore annual turnover business, right? So getting accuracy level of 99% is really commendable, and that has only happened by adoption of technology at the same time. And similarly on the outcome part, right, what we have done is we are also running a project called Project One Roof, where we are integrating all our businesses, whether be it B2B, B2C, supplies to hospitals, diagnostic, onto a single platform. And this probably we are doing with the help of technology to ensure that it becomes seamless, and same warehouse probably can be used to service multiple businesses, and which will bring us, say, a lot of synergies in terms of cost, lot of ability to leverage or negotiate with the vendors, optimum use of technology, adoption of best practices from one business unit to another business unit. I think these are the key takeaways from this presentation. Happy for Q&A if Floor has any question for me.
Yeah, can you just pass the mic there?
Ankit, it's really nice presentations, and you have covered all of the current technological part as well. So my question is related to PharmEasy, okay, specifically. So say it's basically how do you manage that warehouse, and where in that the managing all these applications? Can you share some lights on the technology and AI? How you built on top of that, like that? Yeah, please.
Sure. So I think nice question. So the way we have integrated our front end, which is a customer facing versus the back end, right? So we have taken some product which are off the shelf. like for example, accounting system and all. But some of the core function we have, for example, WMS, warehouse management system, that is designed internally by our own tech team to ensure that all use cases which are very peculiar to us, right? Because we are into B2B, B2C and everything, right? So very peculiar to us are getting customized in that system also itself. And the data feed which we have created from that system becomes so seamless that it can talk to one system with another system seamlessly. So just to make you aware that all our month-end closing activity, when it comes to inventory part, everything is automated. So one system talk to another system seamlessly, and because we have only created the system, we are 100% confident on the output level. So I think I would say integration and also ensuring that whether off-the-shelf product will work for you or you should create your own tech system, I think that call needs to be taken by the finance professional, looking at the complexity of the business, looking at the scale of the business. Sometimes it becomes easier to adopt, say, off-the-shelf product because you don't want to work or focus on non-core product.
So basically, when you are able to close your month, I mean, is it second or third?
Yeah.
So that is possible because of technology.
Yes. Without that, I think, so we are almost present on, so we service 90+% pin codes of India, right? So with the vast geographical presence and all, it becomes, I think, without technology, we cannot even think of closing all those things, right?
It's very nice presentation. And just I want to ask, can we integrate it with SAP?
Yes, so we are not using SAP, but we are using any other accounting system which is deeply integrated with us. All our in-house internal WMS and all are talking seamlessly to the accounting system, but we are not using SAP as well.
But we can integrate it.
Yeah.
Input-wise and output-wise.
Correct.
Okay.
How do you take care of like expired stocks, because you are into like medicine, so how do you take care of expired stock? And second is, if there is any shortage of inventory like theft or something is missing.
So I think interesting question. So what we do generally, like for every inverse, we do a barcoding kind of thing. So every SKU is tagged as a barcoded. And just to give you an insight, right? So whenever an order has come to our system on front end, right? The picker and packer exactly knows that which rack the medicine is there. He will scan with an handheld machine. And in case he picked the wrong medicine, it will immediately highlight at that point of time itself that you have not picked the right medicine, pick the right one. The moment he will do so, we ensure that from an accuracy level, right? Because we don't want our customer to suffer at the service level itself, right? So we have adopted technology to the T, right? And from what you said, that expiry, so we know exactly which barcode, what was the expiry date and all, so we can easily track which rack it is lying and where we need to get it back to the brands in case the product has expired.
That will also help in like inventory reconciliation at the month end or year end.
So we do on a daily basis like this, because if the inventory is missing from rack, it means that something is wrong.
Can you just pass the mic, please?
Okay, so we seen ki most of the people talk the positive or the outcome which we see at the front end. So I would like to share, means you can share with your experience where you have faced one challenges, which has tremendously went wrong, because see, people are looking for the AI for the good thing, for the helpful thing, but they might, or you, for example, you can share us, because you have implemented that one challenge and how
I think there are not one, I think there are multiple challenges.
There are multiple,
when
but
it
any
comes
special or outcome which you feel ki arey, that was maybe a showstopper point, or we can't rely totally on AI, like there. So how you outcome it, means how you will then outcome from it, whether it was a manual thing you have intervened or solution or system generated thing only happens to help out to come out that situation.
So I think there are n number of challenges, right, when it comes to adopting new technologies. First is like people resist to change, they don't want to change, right? Second is you always find a skill gap there, because we are pan-India presence. If you want to migrate from, say, legacy system to new system, then we should have the guys or the workforce who are well equipped with those technology. Third is from an compliance point of view, the more and more you get into it, more and more compliance needs to be picked up, right? Fourth one is data security point of view. Everything is on cloud. You are susceptible to all the attacks. Cyber crime is so big nowadays, right? You've recently heard that WazirX security got compromised and all tokens got lost and everything, right? So that also brings another level of challenges. The most important is that your dependency on vendor also increases drastically. If you have chosen wrong vendor, right, and he is not able to complete your project on time, then your process also goes on toss, right? Because you are dependent on him, and his ability to deliver your output also determines your ability to ultimately process output at your end as well. So that dependency also increases significantly. So I think so we have also learned over a period of time. I would say we have also made certain mistakes when we started this project, but over a period of time we overcome all those things. And now we have created a models. So what we are doing, we are migrating, say, one warehouse from old system to new system. So we have created a template specifically that what all needs to be checked before starting implementation, what all needs to be done during implementation and post implementation, so that if there are any gaps, that can be arrested immediately and there is no anxiety at all when we are moving from one system to another system.
Yes, sir, please.
Hello. Yeah, how do you identify and solve loss in the delivery process? Maybe theft or loss?
So I think what we generally do is that we have created a handshake mechanism wherein, for example, if a particular order has been delivered, so the customer will know on real-time basis what is the stage the order is and whether the order has been delivered. So you will get a notification, and in case there is any gap between the actual delivery versus say fraud, then it will be immediately picked up. Also, what we do is that we have created a very interesting route planning for that delivery boy to ensure that he uses optimized method of or optimized mode of or optimized route of traveling and servicing that order during this time. So we do a handshake wherein we ensure that whatever system is throwing is actually matching with the end output, and we get the same confirmed by the customer experience. So in case if there is any gap, it will be highlighted immediately to us.
But how do you actually, if what you take care or take precautions to make sure that the product when it is delivered to the customers is not replaced in transit?
So the way it works is, for example, when we are giving all our, say, packets to our delivery boy, we have created a mechanism where everything is barcoded, and he has to ensure that whenever he is servicing that order, he has not given the wrong order to that particular right. And second, the way we have do the packaging and everything, so if anyone tampers it, that is clearly visible to the customer that something has gone wrong with the packet.
Ankit ji, it was a nice presentation over here. Yeah, but there are few questions. First, related to compliance. Compliance is passed on to the vendor, or it is been in-house?
Everything is in-house because
you are dealing in the pharmacy sector.
Right.
Whereas, as per the guidelines, pharmacy is mandatory in each and every store. And you told the boy is picking up from the rack. In which way do you manage that things?
No,
and
so the way
how does that tech work in this? Because as per the guidelines, compliance, as you told, okay, we are into B2B also and B2C also.
Right.
I think so. It is one way you are from B2B, you are giving to B2C. It is that way, or you have your own warehouse?
So we also, so the way it works, we have got mother warehouse which supplies to, say, B2B customers and the retailers who have listed themselves on the platform. And the way it works is that we have a complete checklist which ensures that we follow the guidelines when it comes to specifically servicing the pharma, because it's a sensitive category. It is a very important category, and you cannot miss anything because it is related to health of the customer. So we comply with all the relevant aspects when it comes to compliance, and everything is in-house because that is very core to us. So we don't want to outsource this particular function to any other third party. So I think vendors, we have got a detailed checklist specifically. For example, if we are replicating one model with, say, another territory, then we know that what is the playbook specific to that particular thing. Otherwise, generally, we try to get some reference check with their existing set of customers who can vouch for their outputs and all, right? And that is how typically it works.
Yeah, please, sir. Can you just give a mic?
Thanks, Ankit, for the nice presentation. So as a CFO, how you balance between the IT expenditures and finance?
I think, I think the way it works is that we have seen the journey, right? And I think finance should wear the hat, what is the momentum of the organization. For example, if you are in a very, very early phase wherein you are investing a lot of money into technology, you want to grab more and more customer versus moving away from high revenue growth to a sustainable growth and all those things. And accordingly, your goalpost keeps on changing and you have to manage accordingly. For example, if you are if you are expecting say 10x growth month on month, right, then probably your way to look at a particular expenditure changes drastically versus expecting a moderate growth. And the way we look at it, we also takes into consideration that how can technology help us achieve our ultimate goal. If they can substantially reduce human efforts and probably that particular time can be invested in say strategic thinking, then probably we go ahead with the technology first. Because reaching at this scale without technology, I think is next to impossible.
All right. Thank you so much, Ankit. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a round of applause. And Ankit with us throughout the evening. Please feel free to reach out to him. Ankit, can we just come back to the stage? I would like to call Mr. Ramesh Iyer, President and CRO at Happy, to felicitate Mr. Ankit Jain.